Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Hey, Shadow. Welcome. Benton, Rich. Good morning, everybody. Hope y'all had a great weekend. So, I think today we're going short, but I'm looking for a run through buy stops first. Good morning, Jeremy. Morning, Greasy. So let's break it down real quick. Again, we have 9:45 a.m. news, 10 a.m. news. Let's go to the daily chart. Lagging a little bit there. All right, so we opened up, big gap down. So we reached up into the middle of this candle on the daily chart here, and then opened up last night, gap down. I believe we're going to run this sell side liquidity here. We need to watch, especially because this gap is so large. So also, I marked out my last week low, last week high, and we're in a new month, so I marked out my last month high and low. One thing I didn't mark out, which I need to go ahead and do now, is my London session. So let me throw those up here real quick. My London highs and lows here. There's a London low, and we have London high right there. Where's my London high? There we go. And then lastly, my midnight open right there. Okay. So I believe because we have this big gap, we have that sell side liquidity, we reached up to where we did. I believe, again, this gap is going to be a very large gap, opening gap, right? More than 120 points. So my idea is going to be run buy side, run up through this buy side, maybe reach into this 0.25 deviation if you measure that new week opening gap. Then you have the midpoint there. So wait for a run up through buy side, these buy stops. And then we have some nice sell side liquidity down here at around the 976 area before we reach into last week's low and last month's low. It's kind of my idea for today. I already knew there's going to be a big opening range gap, so I marked out the high of it. I'm going to go ahead and mark out the low here where we opened at right there, 215. So I'll mark out the low. And I'm not expecting a gap fill, so I'm going to lock it in so it'll stay on my chart. And we have, it's kind of being covered there. Just go ahead. It's pretty much the same level. So 425.75. I'm just going to leave it there. Lock that in. So I'm going to leave my fib there because I want to watch and see if we can make it up to this area or not, and monitor that. So that's kind of my idea and what I'm looking for today. We reached up through London high, and then we do have like I said, the news 9:45 and 10 a.m. So definitely going to wait and be patient for that. So what I'm expecting or anticipating, I think news is going to kind of run. See, we have minor buy side there, but I believe news is going to run us through buy side in this area up here. And then we can distribute. That'll be our manipulation. Then we can distribute down for the rest of the day. We'll see if that happens or not. But unless if it goes up and sweeps before news and then news distributes it down. Either way, we'll see. Good morning. Good morning. Enrico, Binge, good to see you. Hey, Tyler, good morning. Yep, new week, new month. Let's go. All right, let's see. We got the 931 bar right here. So that's going to be our first presented fair value gap. We'll go ahead and mark that out. And let me extend it out pretty good there. First presented fair value gap. And I'm just going to wait and be patient on this one today. Yeah, no Chris. I don't see Chris today. You message him. Where's he at? For all the times he called you a slacker, Shadow. There he is. I thought I read you saying good morning, but then yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened to you. Yeah, I saw it because when I come on in the morning while I'm like kind of marking up my charts and stuff, I go ahead and get the stream ready, and what I do is on a separate screen, I pop out the chat from YouTube. So I kind of have the chat sitting off on the side on a separate stream, and I'm usually like 10-15 minutes before the market opens. I do that around that time, so I'll see comments in there. And I saw Chris's comment, so I did see that he commented. So that is weird that it's gone. All right, so here's the thing. If I have sell side liquidity down here, right? Like I don't, as y'all should know by now, I don't look to take a trade all the way through there, right? I take the low hanging fruit. So typically 35 to 60 points. I mean, would I love to take trades like that someday? Eventually, maybe, who knows? Maybe just on a live personal account, because as you know, prop firm accounts, you're going to have typically a trailing drawdown, stuff like that. So unless you have like a really big buffer, but for me, there's really no reason to sit in a trade like that. I just like to get in and out, get my profit. Let's go. So with that being said, what I would probably do, depending on how far we go up and where we sweep and where I get an entry, I would, if we haven't taken these relatively equal lows right here, that very well could be a target for me. Either that or this 15-minute fair value gap that I marked. So one or the other. And that would be a nice trade for me. So I can already see it. Run it up here, maybe this 0.25, somewhere up in this area, get a nice sweep, and then distribute down right into these 160 to 180 area, potentially. Now, if my entry does come, say, somewhere, kind of close to that, somewhere down here for whatever reason, like we get a nice displacement and I end up taking it here, then what I would do is probably target London low. That'd be a nice target. We have midnight opening price there. We have the sell side liquidity. And then, so like each one of these key levels would be nice targets. That's my bias right now, is looking for a short. Sweep, buy side, and looking for a short. All right, here we go. Running up to that area. So it's 9:40 almost. So it looks like what's going to happen is the second option that I mentioned, where we're going to run up, do our sweep, and then news bring it back down potentially. I don't see it moving down before the news. We do have that 9:45 news, but yeah. So I would like to see it trade I mean, we're sweeping buy side liquidity now. So I'm going to get rid of this minor buy side. I just put it there just in case, but this was my right here, my original buy side liquidity. So, I mean, this is a nice sweep. We did hit the new day opening gap, the new week opening gap, the low of it. We don't have to trade all the way up here for me. Like, I don't need it to trade all the way up to the the 0.25, and I don't need it to trade all the way up to the middle. It'd be nice if it hit the 0.25 first, but I don't need it to do that. Like, this is a legit sweep happening. So I want to see if we invert this fair value gap or not. That'd be my key right there to see. I want to start utilizing these long and short positions a little more, because I do like how it puts, your stop, like right here, this would be 48 points. But I would definitely still stick to market orders. So like kind of just like have it sitting here ready to go. Which, by the way, I'm on 2 micros, so I had to adjust a little bit. Not taking this as a short right now, but just kind of like I want to utilize this a little more. So I did not invert this yet, which is fine. I mean, we're still early. Like, I don't want this to start distributing early before 9:50 or 10 o'clock. I'd actually prefer today for it to distribute after 10 a.m. Because I'm still like a little hesitant, I guess, or cautious when it comes to trading, like, or getting in a trade right at or around news. Even if I have the right idea, and even if news just catapults it faster to what I'm expecting, sometimes, a lot of times, it can make you have a larger stop, or sometimes it can overshoot a little bit. So that's the part I don't like. Hey, Max, good morning. Welcome, welcome. So at this moment, still kind of monitoring it. Still trading a little smaller. I bumped up my contract sizing a little bit. Still not to my normal sizing that I want. Because if y'all remember, I bumped it down. And then after a couple of bad weeks in January, where I was, I told y'all my mess ups trading afternoon different times, I went ahead and bumped it down another notch on my contract sizing. So all my accounts right now, I'm doing basically 2 to 3 micros, but I went ahead and bumped it one notch back up. So I'm pretty much at 3 to 6 micros. I think that's what it is at. Let's see. 2 times 3. Yeah. 3 to 6 micros, depending on the account size. So I bumped up my live account because my live account's never been like a huge live account, and I've just kind of had it tagging along my PAs and just using it as a leader. So I went ahead and bumped it up to 2 micros on my live. We got 10 seconds for news and this bar to close. It was looking like it wanted to invert it, but I kind of don't want it to yet. I want to see it make a new high, but all right, now if this bar closes down, we're going to have a volume imbalance right here. See this? And you can see these pretty early when this happens, right here. We'll have a volume imbalance. Text is too large there. That's too small. Just right. Which I like that, and I like this inversion that we potentially will have here. I'm okay with actually taking a trade down here to go short because my bias is short. And we're sweeping buy side, and I believe we're going to continue way down throughout the day. So, yeah, this is definitely inverting. I may look to short right here in this volume imbalance and this inversion if we don't get this gap. This is kind of what I'm looking at. It's a 2.2 to 1 ratio there, right there. Let's go ahead and try this. Pop out a little order ticket here. Got 27 seconds. We'll see if we get this fair value gap. Hitting the first presented fair value gap now. Go ahead and mark this just in case if we get this. We may get this here. And if we get this, it'll be hard not to go short right in here. 238. But I do want to see it dig up a little further. At least midpoint. I'm going to put my entry right here around 251. 43-point stop's pretty big. Actually, there's that volume imbalance there, so I'm going to wait and see if it pulls back up there or not. So basically, I'm looking to enter. It shouldn't invert this 1 minute though, but we still have that news coming out at 10. But basically, I'm looking to enter right around here, this imbalance, where this imbalance, inversion, and 1 minute fair value gap all kind of overlap. I want to see if that happens. If not, if it just pulls into this 1 minute and doesn't go back up anymore, that may enter there and just kind of have my stop above the inversion. So we'll see. About to 2 minutes until 9:50. So I'm not going to enter immediately when it hits this 1 minute. I'm looking to go short here, but also potentially we'll have this volume imbalance on the 5 minute chart as well. Just patiently waiting. Because like when it starts to go, when it displaces, it's probably going to displace pretty hard and fast. But I don't see it doing that yet. I think it's got to pull back up into this area. So just kind of wait and see. Like I very well could see it coming down further before it even does any type of retracement. See, it inverted the first presented. All right, I'm going to be watching here to see, because if it starts pulling up in here and like starts respecting the mid consequent encroachment of this fair value gap, then I may look to go short there. I just want to be a little patient because this is where it's a little tricky because you want to be patient, but also you don't want to miss the move. Because I've missed plenty of moves being a little too patient before. Can I adjust the size of this? No. But what I like also is that it's like kind of have it planned out here and I just hit the sell button. Oh, it's back to 1. There we go. Sell 2. Maybe I can. I don't want dollars. I don't like looking at dollars. 950 now. Man, it's cold in here. Oh, is that what's going on, Benton? I was wondering, why is it changing? But I took the dollar amount off, so maybe that'll help. Yeah, I just need to make sure it stays on 2. If we create another gap, though, like displacement or a fair value gap, at that point, I don't think we'll reach back up because we have a long ways to go down, short. So, like, for example, if we created a fair value gap down here, we may not reach back up. And we got that in 10 a.m. news, too. I see. Benton. Maybe here. Stop loss enables quantity. Maybe that does it. Here. I'll play with that later. I'll just make sure this stays 2. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens in this fair value gap here. If we can reach up to it. Okay, we're in that fair value gap. I don't think we'll just touch it and go, but be a little patient here. Yeah, it might. I don't want to jump the gun. At this point, I mean, it's bouncing around quite a bit. 20 points very easily. Man, that's the risk of waiting. It hit that right there. But what I can do is, because I have a long way to go, right? So, I believe, like I said, it's going to trade down further. Oh, man. It's just we have that volume imbalance. We have all this up here for it to, but it touched it. So it may not come back. We'll see. We also have that news. We'll see. We'll see. That's all I can say right now. We'll see. You went into 3 positions going long? Oh, short. Okay. Yeah, look at that. That's all it wanted. Maybe. Yep, there it goes. It's displacing. We have London low there. We'll see. We'll see if it displaces or what it does here. We still have news. I think news is just going to shoot it down further. We'll see if it comes back up here. I really didn't think it would just touch it. Wait, why did that happen? It's just like my sell. See, why is that happening? My sell orders are going blank. That's weird. I wonder why that happens. Why is that going blank like that? All right, let me get rid of this. It's giving me weird feelings. All right, now I'm going to watch this little fair value gap right here. Well, if we get it. May not get it. Also, I'm going to watch this potential order block. I want to see if that holds resistance or not. Still got that news. It should not take this swing up here. So if it does have a retracement, I mean, I could look to get short anywhere in this area here. A 15-minute fair value gap? I'm not seeing one. We don't have any fair value gaps on the 15-minute, Shadow. No fair value gaps on the 15. We may come back to it because we have a 5-minute fair value gap right here overlapping this 1 minute. So we might see it pull back up one more time before it goes. All right, look, right up into here. Okay, tapping that first presented fair value gap again. We got news soon too. News always makes me a little bit nervous. So I would hate for news to shoot it back up here where I thought it may go in the first place and me be in down here. So I'm just going to wait. Yeah, I'm going to wait. I may be able to get my position up here that I originally wanted. Yeah, Rem, I have my oh, hold on. Let me look at this. Let me see what's going to happen here. I may be getting ready to go short. That was a good, I wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, I'm going to go short.
Orders.
And I hope news don't wake me out, but I'm going to go ahead and, because it could still come up here to this volume imbalance. But I'm going to go ahead and put my stop. Ooh, that's a big stop. Above that inversion.
Order submitted.
And I'm going to put my target down here, but I'm going to kind of trail it.
Order submitted.
That's a pretty big stop. So I hope news doesn't wick me out of that one. We shouldn't take this swing high up here, but we have that imbalance, that volume imbalance. I may have jumped in early on this one too, but we'll see. Because we very well could come up here and hit this area still. But seeing this is where I was kind of like, I already missed this entry where it came down and took my original target. So this one, I didn't want to kind of miss the move. So I hopped in here. So we'll see if that was a bad decision or not. I have to give it the room to work, though. Unfortunately, I don't like this big of a stop, but I kind of have to. So I'm going to go for a little bit more. That way, if it does distribute fairly hard, then I can just like trail it down. So we'll see. We have 1 minute till that news. Hate being in trades during news, but and check out this tool that I have here that I got from Affordable Indicators. This is pretty cool. Shows all your accounts together. So I'll go over that after we're done. Right now, I don't like that I went in as early as I did, to be honest. This little fair value gap, I want to see it get inverted. I think we distribute down, but news, like I said, I always get a little bit nervous with news because it could overshoot up here and then drop. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. All right. Here we go. Here we go. It hit that 15-minute fair value gap. So at this point, I mean, I could move and cover costs and commissions, but it's so volatile. then I'm a little bit afraid to move to break even and cover commissions and costs and then get wicked out. I could take profit here or any time, but I think we're going to run lower. What I wanted to see was trade through here so I can tighten up my stop. I just don't want it to come up and get this imbalance and then drop, but we'll see. We took all this like minor sell side liquidity here, so just gotta wait for that distribution. Yeah, we'll see. This is a little bit outside of what I normally like to do because I like the framework. I like everything that happened. I just don't like the news. I can't say that enough. So we'll see. We have not actually inverted this imbalance yet, really. So what this could have done was been a little clear out of some stops. Clear it out, come back up, and then go. We'll see if we could take this low here, or if we go anywhere inside this fair value gap, then I'll probably move my stop pretty. I'm actually going to move it to break even, to be honest, because I'm up a pretty good amount. And for my psychological reasons, I don't want it to lose. And then, you know, me be like, dang, I was up 200 ticks and it lost. So like really I could close it anytime. I'm just going to wait to see if we could come into this 15-minute fair value gap. Then I'll just move my stop and see if I could trail it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move my stop all the way down. I'm going to trail it if it just goes. If it comes up and knocks me out, then it knocks me out. All right, I'm tightening. I'm out. I'm out because...
Order canceled.
Let's make sure I'm out. Yep, I'm out. I'm out because it could chop around or stop in this 15-minute fair value gap. It may not, but hey, I'm good. I got my trade. That's basically all I was looking for. Like I said, it could go down to London. It could keep going, but that's all I was looking for. And if you see, that's 227.25 minus 165.75. 61 points. I'm cool with that. Like I said, my low-hanging fruit objectives are 35 to 60 points. Yeah, that was a beautiful trade. I'm not going to lie. Like, everything was beautiful. I love this trade. This is what I normally would look for all day, every day. But I don't normally do it with news or through news. So, hey, ICT says the news is just it just propels price to do what it's supposed to do anyways. So we'll see. I mean, hey, not a bad idea to wait till after news. I wish I would have got in right here. I was not paying attention. That would have been even better, obviously. But hey, I'm good. All right, so let me show you this cool tool. So I made almost a little over 8,500 today. This was the tool I was talking about. This actually has a lot of risk management in it. You can set all kinds of things. When I built my money management tool, this is kind of like what I had envisioned. And this is not even all the settings. Like, I turned off the copier. It has a built-in copier. It has risk management settings, all kinds of stuff. I turned all that off because I just wanted to show, like, to have this so I could see all my accounts lumped in together. Hey, oh, it's not, okay, it's not showing commissions. I was like, why is there a difference? Yeah, this isn't, I guess I could turn on commissions. Yeah, I can turn on commissions for it. But anyways, it's really cool. It's not the cheapest though, but you can, I think they have 20% off right now. You don't need it. It's just something I thought was cool. Yeah, I need to turn on commissions on that. So my P&L on my chart that y'all can see above my chart, that is after commissions. So I need to turn on, I'm just afraid to mess with the settings and then it shows some. See, this is exactly why had a target here because it could hesitate and stop in this 15-minute fair value gap. So that's like, and I think it'll continue. But why, if my low hanging fruit is 35 to 60-ish points usually, why do I want to be able to get that here and not take profit, let it pull back, let it do its thing, look right to this inversion, and then sit in it for later time? Like, you could. That's just not what I want to do. And also, because of my 4 years of overcoming discipline problems, that's not good for me. Look right to the midpoint of that inversion. Little volume imbalance right there as well. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Right there. Boom. Oh, and that's the other thing that had me a little bit. That's why I had my stop up here, and is a little bit larger of a stop than I normally like. But because I thought it never touched the inversion after it closed underneath it. And then it never touched this volume imbalance either. But hey, all good. This was a nice Monday. And we have, I think, what do we have? NFP this week? Is that what it is? Let's pull over the chart or the calendar here. Let's look. This week we have, Jolts tomorrow. Man, we got a lot of news this week. Should be a good week. NFP Friday. I won't be trading Thursday. Yeah, beautiful day. I won't be trading Thursday. So if y'all remember, one of my rules, or a couple of them, is I don't trade the day before NFP. I don't trade the day before CPI. And I don't trade the day of FOMC. So I will trade an NFP. Because, it comes out before I'm trading. But I won't trade the day before. So I won't be trading Thursday. And then, which also, an FOMC member Waller speaks at 2:30. So sometimes that can create some like choppy price action in the morning. And then you pair that with NFP the next day. Yeah, I'm staying out Thursday. 100%. I'm staying out Thursday. You see here? Like, it's probably going to keep going. It should keep going. But I don't have a reason to sit in this, I don't have a reason, personally. Binge, because those days, the price action and based on my history of my trading, and everything I say is based on my own personal history, so you can check, monitor, watch yourself. That's what I recommend everybody do. But based on my trading history over the last almost 5 years now, the day before those days, the day before CPI and the day before NFP, it's not always, but the majority of time, the price action is just not very good for me and for how I trade. There's a lot of what's called seek and destroy conditions, where it's basically just taking highs and lows over and over and lots of wicking, and it can get chopped up. For me, it's just not worth it anymore. Basically. So the three biggest, so those 3 days for sure is going to be NFP, non-farm payroll. I don't trade the day before. CPI, I don't trade the day before that, which is CPI, that's the inflation report. And then the other one is FOMC, which is the Fed funds rate. That's when they have the interest rate decisions. And that news release is always at 2 p.m. So and that's why I don't trade that day, because since the news is at 2 p.m., typically that day is going to have weird price action as well. There's been some mornings though where the first hour I'll see it be, pretty good, and sometimes I'll get a trade. So every now and then I'll monitor and kind of watch the first hour, but it's just really not worth it for me. So I kind of stopped. I just won't trade that day. Because what happens to me is if I have rules like that, and I'm kind of, and they're like subjective, like kind of subjective, where I'm like, it depends how the market is. Then what happens to me is if I trade that day and I had a rule like that and I lose, then I start kind of beating myself up like, man, I have that rule for a reason. I shouldn't have trade. I knew I shouldn't have done that. I start doing that. And then it's just not good for my, my mental capital. So I just cut it out completely. And you see here, reached up to that low of the opening range gap again, closed below the inversion. Now we're displacing back down again. We're going to invert this fair value gap. Say, and this is where you have to have the underlying narrative. If you're trading this, trading ICT concepts, just looking for a market structure shift and a fair value gap won't do it. Like it won't do it. Like I knew before I started trading at 8:30, this is what I told y'all. This is exactly what I'm looking. Price to sweep buy side liquidity, maybe hit here, maybe hit the 0.25, and then looking for distribution lower. Like that's what I'm looking for because the underlying narrative is telling me we're probably going to be bearish. So, and then you just look like a sniper for your entry, and then you take the shot. Just wait, just be patient. See, and now we're displacing with another fair value gap here, another inversion. We should, this at this point is where we're probably going to, my guess, go ahead and invert this 15-minute and head down to London low, then eventually midnight opening price, then eventually the sell side liquidity here. But look, if you're trading like this, trading this style, trading ICT concepts, this is now a year in like October, November, December, January, February. A year and 4 months for me of learning this stuff. It does not come overnight. It does not come in the first few months. You have to be patient with learning it. And it can be overwhelming because you're like, oh, I just want to get it. I just want to get it. But just be patient and just keep learning, keep drilling, keep going. And then what'll happen is one day something will click like, oh, that makes sense. And then a month later, oh, that makes sense. And then you just keep putting it together. Next thing you know, you're a year down the road or whatever. And then you're just like very confident. You're like, oh, I know I can call out this level, this. And you can see what's sounds funny, but you can almost see what's going to happen before it happens. And that's a reason why I wanted to start getting back live again because, and I don't care what people say, to be honest. I really don't. Because I know my financial scenario. But when I would post like my little reels of my trades and I'd post like, hey, good day, this, that. And people would say, there's no way you knew that. And I'm like, well, I did. Like I called it out live, not live, but I called it out, in the morning to myself or on my video recordings of myself. And so I was like, let me go live. Let me show this live. I mean, hey, you're joking, Chris, but honestly, anybody can formulate a plan. You can formulate a plan to take more than one trade. Like that's just for me, right? Like that's just what I do. But yeah, I mean, you have this inversion, you have this new fair value gap. If you have an underlying narrative to get somewhere, you can you could take another trade. You can keep going. If the market's good and the market hasn't got to where you think it's going and it's going, hey, ride that baby down or get out, get back in. Who knows? It's just when I started doing that stuff, again, I tailored everything, my money management plan, all this to my own experience and my personality. Would I love to have got back in this again, get another 50, 60 points? Absolutely. But again, this is why I don't, because if I take a second trade, I locked in, I'm at $8,600 for the day. You do that every day, you're making a lot of money. But what happens to me is if I take another trade, even though I'm super confident, if it like, let's just say the market does overshoot and I get knocked down and I take a loss and I give back half or more of my profit or even a small amount, I personally, I start kicking myself like, oh, why didn't I just walk away? And then that's when you start spiraling out of control. Well, let me get it back. Let me do it one more time. Well, that loses because now all of a sudden you're out of your head. You're out, you start overthinking, you start doing dumb stuff. Like that's literally, in my opinion, like 80, 90% plus of everybody's problem. And that's why I was too stubborn to quit trading because I knew that was my problem. And if I could just stop sabotaging myself, then I could be successful. And like I promise, that's probably 90% of everybody, like from everything that I see online. So yeah, that's right, Rem. Like I wanted to hold too. But it could reverse. It's not guaranteed. My framework, I framed out this. So let me just take it and be done with it. I do believe it'll go down, but we don't know. It could be this afternoon. This could be our low of the morning and it trade back up and then keep distributing later this afternoon. Like we don't know, right? So I mean, you could still, but what you do though is this is how you do it. You keep watching every single PD array. And when it starts inverting them, that's how you know. So like you have this one, right? You have this inversion, you have this 1 minute fair value gap. All right. So cool. It's respecting it. We're below it. We inverted this 15-minute fair value gap. And then now we have this fair value gap. What did it do? Respected midpoint. So you keep watching and waiting for respecting PD arrays, right? I'd be watching this up close candle right here. Right here. I'd want to see this area not be closed above. And as long as it doesn't close above this area, we're going to keep distributing down. And then every time we keep creating new discount arrays, which they're called discount arrays because they're in discount. When we keep creating new ones, I keep seeing them and watching them be respected. As long as they continue to be respected, we're going to continue going down. As soon as I start seeing them get inverted, that's whenever you know, all right, we're taking a breather, we're done. Maybe it'll happen this afternoon. So that's just kind of a way to look at it too. ES took London sell side. Yeah, I didn't even look at ES today. See, that's another thing. I hardly ever look at ES. Yeah, looks like London sell side. Yeah, took London sell side. YM's just always weird. Hey, this was a great day, so exactly, binge. And casinos know that. And then, you know, when you look at casinos, they're always going to have the edge. Like they're going to have a slight edge even in the highest probability games. Thanks, Rem, for joining. Hey, hit that like button. Have a great day. Good job trading. And hey, go pump it up at the gym. I had my gym session this morning before I traded. I finally getting back in it. I play basketball 3 days a week, and I had to stop for a little while because I dislocated my pinky. I don't know if you can see it right now, but it's good enough to play, so we're good. I'm back. But yeah, same thing with casinos. But hey, that's the difference. In trading, we can literally put the probabilities on our side and become the casino. That's the beautiful thing with trading. As long as we don't mess this up right here in our head, as long as we don't mess this up, we can be the casino. Here we go. Okay, another thing, y'all. I don't know like y'all's day-to-day schedule, but if y'all have the ability to, like, if you work from a computer or from home or whatever, if you have the ability to just leave this chart running when you're done trading. Oh, my neck, gotta pop it. When you're done trading, shut everything off. Just like shut down your trading accounts, everything, leave it on demo so you can't do nothing stupid. And watch it, right? Like that's what I do. I throw this on another screen and I'll do stuff, whatever. And then I'll, look at it from time to time. And then that's how that chart time of just watching and reading, man, that's tremendous too. So I'll just be watching this trade, see how it works. Does it just go straight down? Does it do it this afternoon? I'll be watching a whole bunch of, when does it start inverting PD rays and just kind of getting familiar with the price action. Nice, Will. Good job. The 1010 fair value gap. Let me see, which one was that? 1010. Oh, this one, this big one. Yeah. But it was on ES. Nice. So it looks like you used ES to enter your trade on NQ, which that's not bad. They're correlated right now. Like correlated. So great. That's awesome. Good job. So, and then here we go again. I'm going to grab my screenshot. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a screenshot of the entire framework today. Like, I'll zoom out because it's just beautiful. I got no other words. Marco's just beautiful. But I guarantee you, and this is not a shot at anybody, but I guarantee you, if you go onto other streamers that don't trade ICT, no shot on them, but there's going to be streamers that you can watch, and they're going to look at price and not have any clue why price is doing what it's doing. Like, look at this right now. Price, look at this. Wow. And this is why, look, man. Whoo. Look at that. You just never know. So we never came up into this area. Remember that. And watch this. Watch this. Watch this. If I measure this high, this low, let's go ahead and put a fib out here with the deviations. Here's our 0.25. Here's our 0.5. And watch this. The 70.5 is right here exactly. I don't know if you can see this. Exactly. Oh, no. It's right below. Not exactly. Okay, right below this volume imbalance at the high of this 1 minute fair value gap. So I would not be surprised if we came up to right here and dropped and continued distributing down. I would not be surprised one bit. Yeah. Good thing you got out. Yeah, good thing. Good thing. Because look at this. I mean, this just... See, these are the moves. All right, here we go. I'm curious. I want to see if what I'm thinking will happen. Because, like I said, we did trade into this 1 minute fair value gap, but we did not hit this imbalance and we did not hit this inversion. I bet we hit right in this area and we drop. Like I said. Chris, I hear my Discord popping. Is that you? You forgot to close your first trade. Oh, so you had 2 copiers on? Oh, man. So did it double up your trades? It did? Good thing it was a good day. Yeah. Woo. Because a double up on loss. All right, so let's see. Let's see what happens here. I mean, hey, I could be completely wrong on the day, and it might distribute up, and this was manipulation down. But see, that's the thing that's also why I go for low-hanging fruit. Because I can be wrong and still be right. Holy moly. What it is, okay, something... See, this is not, like, look at this. Holy moly. This, I could have it completely opposite today. But I still don't think so. But it could be. That's why I go for low-hanging fruit. Man, let's see. That's funny. I was just talking about how other YouTubers will have no idea why things are happening. Well, this one kind of threw me off. That's what I'm thinking, Benton. I'm like, something check. Exactly. Trump volatility's back. He may have said something. He may have threw a tariff out. That's why I'm about to pull up my financial juice because Something has to be causing this out of the ordinary. There's no way. Like, let's see. All right, tariffs delayed for a month. For Mexico's president, tariffs delayed for a month. That must be shooting. Yeah, there's nothing else. Money markets boost bets on ECB rate cut. Okay, no. French will use special constitutional powers to pass 2025 budget. No. It has to be that. Because, when Trump started talking about tariffs last week, the markets, along with that Chinese AI, like the markets just started going down, down, down. And so now tariffs delayed for a month. Has to be that. But look where it went to, though. Right up to the 0.25. Like, I still think we're going to go down. But we'll see. We'll see. Now I'm not going to sit around and wait. All right. Let me leave my executions for my screenshot. But, man, this just wiped out a lot of people. I bet you a lot of accounts just got blown. Not here, right, y'all? We're not in that business, are we? All right. Man, I am sleepy. All right, y'all. I am going to go ahead and head out. Close her down. No, sir. That's right, Will. I'm going to get rid of these that I marked up here because that's not part of my analysis. Because I got to get my screenshot of how I viewed it before I exited. There we go. Pull that over. There we go. All right, y'all. I am going to head out. So if y'all, again, don't mind hitting that like button, make sure you are videos. I have a few videos that I should be putting out this week that I believe will be beneficial. I know I've said over and over and over, I'm not going to teach ICT directly because everything's on his YouTube. But the more I'm going live, the more I'm posting, the more I'm out there. A lot of people are asking a lot of questions. So I think what I'm gonna do is, and I kind of tell y'all where you should refer to learn ICT stuff. But I think I am going to do snippets of what I think people should actually know, and maybe even snippets into my model and entry, how I do it and what I look for, even though it's basically the 2022 model. But I want to simplify some stuff, but still always refer to ICT. Binge, that is financialjuice.com. Financial juice, like orange juice. Financialjuice.com. They give you the latest and greatest and fastest breaking news that you could possibly get. So go to that link right there, financialjuice.com. I would definitely have that saved so you can get to quick, just like this. It's like there's something going on. Let's go find out. Go to Financial Juice, and bam, there it is. So, all right, y'all. I'm going to hop off here. It's 10:30. We had a great day today. So, hope you all have a great rest of your day. If you're going to keep trading, as always, trade well, y'all. See you later.